Hi everyone, welcome back to Java for All. In this video, we are going to add the dependency and we are going to also create the connection to our database. So basically, just come here to MVN repository and search for MySQL, the MySQL connector J. Now, for the version, coming back to the project, if you go to the terminal, I don't have my Docker running. I have the Docker engine, but I don't have the container. So Docker compose up. To select the version, you just pick the same one as your server is running. So coming back here is the same 8025. I unselected this checkbox. Just click. It is already on your clipboard. Now come back to your pom.xml. Now we have to add one markup here called dependencies. So just start type D and E and then press enter. And now Control V. Just paste the content here. So in your case, I believe this will be red. In my case, because I already downloaded in different projects, I can see it here. But let me see if I can replicate that. So the dependencies, they are stored in your computer. So for you to download the dependency, just click here on this button or press Ctrl Shift O. And then it will download all the dependencies. So where are the dependencies located? In your project, if you take a look here at the external libraries, you will see that we have two. You have your MySQL connector 8025 and you have the Google protobuf. So what is this dependency? Because we don't have this dependency here. And this is one of the advantages of the dependency management provided by any dependency management tool, but in this case, Maven. As you can see, probably the MySQL connector at some point inside the code, because this is just regular Java code. It's like any Java code that we write. And as you can see, we have this protobuf, and probably this package depends on this. So how do you know that? If you are downloading and the documentation is not very specific, you would probably face some problems. So the dependency manager knows that this protobuf is required and it's already available to you. So here, as you can see, the Maven is telling that the dependencies, compile dependencies, protobuf. Where is this in our computer? So open Explorer, go to your local disk users, in my case is William, and then you can see here that we have this .m2. Open this one, go to repository, and here you will have all the dependencies available that were already downloaded. I have some here from 2020, but the one we just downloaded is this MySQL connector. As you can see, I have different versions, but the one we just downloaded is this one. So if you delete and you have to just refresh it and it will be downloaded again. But basically all your dependencies are inside this repository. So if you are having some problems, it's okay to just nuke the entire repository and then everything will be downloaded again. Cool. So we have our dependency in the POM. We have our dependency here available in the project. If you are not seeing here, you may have some problems. So make sure that you kind of refresh here and see if you get the dependency there. Now, coming back to the connection factory that was somewhere here. So connection factory. Now we need to create the connection. Let's create a public static connection get connection. Now, when creating the connection, we need three things: the URL, the username, and we need the password. Now, what is the URL? You have a pattern, because when we are creating connection, we create the connection through the drive manager. Drive manager is kind of connection factory. And how does it know which driver it should use? Basically, the pattern for MySQL is like this. First, you type JDBC, and then column, and now you type MySQL. So it could be, if you had different vendors, probably the value here would change. It could be MariaDB, or could be Postgres, and so on. So this is available in the vendor's documentation. And then slash slash column slash slash, and it comes the URL. In our case, it's running you see 3306, but be careful because this is the container port. In our case, we are mapping the computer, our local network 3306, to the container 3306. So if here was 3307, then your URL connection will be through 3307. If you are not sure, just check here. So localhost and then 3306. So basically, this is the URL that you need. Going back to your project, localhost column 3306, and then the database name slash anime store. Cool. Now username root, password root, and now we need to get the connection. Driver manager get connection, exactly what we want. URL, username, and password. URL, username, password. Most of the SQL things you are going to do will throw some kind of check exception. So you just have to surround with try catch. Trouble is a pretty ugly name. E exception, and then here you can create a connection. And just for the sake of simplicity, we are going to salt this connection. If we see something in the console, it means it worked. Something that's not red, at least. And then here return no. So we want to make sure that we have this connection. Now let's go back to the package and let's create a new package called test. Insert package, remove con, add test, and then create a Java class, connection factory test 01, and then psvm connection factory get connection. So we should see something in the console. So it means that we were able to get a valid object. If your database was not running, if I just stop my server and then I try Shift F10 again, you will get connection refused because, well, it's not possible to connect to something that's not running. Okay, so let's stop this video with this small victory. In the next one, we are going to continue. So I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye.